don't serve me now.
All the things that don't serve me now.
I forgive myself and release. Hey, I forgive myself. All right, y'all. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter here at Stars Millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video. Daily motivational video. Actually, let's do a love reading. Say no. All right, let's just do a love reading real quick. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with me today. My emotions are all over the place. It's like, no, I'm just playing. All right, y'all. Angel number 57. Let's get into it. Dear God, guardian angel, and ancestors, what information do you deem worthy for us to hear right now to bring in our divine partnerships, to become one with our divine mate, or just anything that you feel worthy for us to know about divine partnerships? Allow no room for doubt or confusion in me or the viewer's mind. And God, my prayer. Oh, shit. All right. Alright. So, this came out again. So, getting to know each other. As you reveal your inner selves to each other, your bond deepens. Angel number 151. And so, I feel like for some reason, I get the energy that some of us are about to start getting to know one another. I feel like what we have to understand is that instead of, I mentioned this before, instead of being in relationships, I think when we first were younger, we were taught like, you bring your best representative, you bring your best self, you're the most freakiest, you're just so, you don't really want much, you're just so easygoing. And I really feel like we should not do that. Like if we want to have divine partnerships, and I was actually just listening to Friday Night Live with like Al and Claudia, and he was just talking about like, when you're older, you just don't have time for BS and you're able to just walk and speak your truth. And I feel like that's where you should be in if you want to have divine partnership. Like you don't have time if you want to have kids, if you want to get married, like you need to be upfront with that. And if that person doesn't want that, then that should be able, you can easily make your decision like, okay, well, there's no need to spend my time here because we don't ultimately want the same thing. I think what we don't realize is that when we get into relationships and we start sugarcoating stuff and we're not really being honest, that we actually are opening ourselves up for disappointment. The other card that came out is let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. And again, I feel like a lot of you guys, you're not very honest up front when you meet people, and it's because you're trying to control it. You want to look a certain way, you want to come off a certain way. And what God is saying is that if you want to have divine partnership, if this is how you want your life to go, then you don't have time for that. You really need to get used to having heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with one another. So you really need to learn how to get yourself in this place where you're not afraid to be honest with guys. You're not afraid to be your best self. Like, and it's not even about being your best self. Like, I just feel like you just want your best representative on display at all times, which is fair. But I feel like what God is saying is that sometimes you can be a little dishonest when you do that. And so God is saying, let go of your control issues, allow your love life to flow naturally, and just be fun and flirtatious, but be your true self. Like, it's power in being your true self. You don't want to connect with somebody being somebody you're not, okay? I'm actually going to get some tarot to just see what is your energy towards this. So many cards. All my cards are out. All right, guys. Clarify this message of getting to know each other, letting go of control issues, and heart-to-heart conversations. What are you trying to get us to understand about the importance of being honest in the beginning of our relationships? Why do we need to let go of control issues and not sugarcoat who we really truly are? And why do we need to get comfortable with having intimate heart-to-heart conversations? Allow no room for doubt or confusions in me or the viewer mind. God name I pray. Getting to know each other. All right, what about for control issues? What about letting go of control issues? Thank you. Yep. Okay. So for the Ten of Wands, we're getting to know each other. Again, the Ten of Wands, this is this woman who is carrying these bundles of wands, probably to like this destination here. She got her head down, and it seems like it's like really, really hard, but you know, eventually she's gonna be able to put this down. But what God is trying to get you to understand is like your relationships, it honestly shouldn't be this hard. Angel number 532. I feel like you are used to kind of like just putting in a lot of extra, I mean, just a lot of effort up front, and like, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, you just put up a lot of effort to be your best self or to come off a certain type of way. You try very hard. I'm just going to be honest. You try very hard. And I feel like what God is saying is like, don't try so hard. Just be yourself. Like, just take things easy. Honestly, I feel like what God is saying is like, you need to just drop the load, drop all of those baggage, I feel like you go into situations thinking about your past and like, oh, well, I said this to this guy and he didn't like this, or I mentioned I had a kid and then he didn't want to do this, so I'm not going to, it's like you got all these things in your mind before you even come into the conversation. And what God is saying is like, drop all the pretenses, drop all your baggage from before, and just come into this situation brand new, ready to get to know somebody. If you do that, then you'll be able to start off relationships on a new plateau, like this let go of control issues, this Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is all about communication. It's a hand coming through a sword with the bright, you know, like with this illumination. So it's like a brand new way to communicate, a brand new way of having relationships. And so what God is trying to say, like, if you stop trying so hard in the beginning and stop trying to be your best representative and you're just your honest self, then how your relationship will go. Like, if you would literally just release your control issues, then your relationships will go so much more smoothly. And you will actually have like probably a better time at it. Like it will go better because you're honest up front and you're clear about what you want. If you do that, then God is saying, be willing to have heart-to-heart conversations, and don't be surprised if you get closer to what you want even sooner. Like, you know, I feel like sometimes we don't recognize the power in truth. We don't recognize the power in like having boundaries and being very clear in what we want. I feel like, you know, it's the world has conditioned, especially Black women, like, oh, you know, you don't want to be too high maintenance. And I'm thinking about like, remember in season 1 when they were saying like how Molly was she had high standards and all of this stuff. But guess what? Like, Molly just worked on herself. She became a better her, and she was able to get everything that she wants. She didn't have to sacrifice who she was. Like, when she was just honest, think about that. When she was, think about the scene. I'm thinking about that last scene, this series. I mean, this last season, when she ran into Dro, and like, she just, granted, she was high, but she just flat out told Torian like, oh yeah, me and him, we used to fuck around. He was married, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? They was just honest. And he's like, everybody got a pass. I used to sell this, da, da, da. And then they were able to move closer. And I feel like the problem is like, look, over it. The problem is like, because you go into like certain dating situations, thinking about your past, thinking about how it didn't work out before, you try so hard, and you just bring in a lot of baggage in the beginning, and you're not honest about who you really are. And honestly, that's what sets you up for all of your issues down the line. So what God is saying is, if you just come into the situation clear, open, honest, get to know somebody genuinely, not taking it too seriously, doubling down on the message from last week, then you will have different types of relationships. If you let go of these control issues, allow it to kind of allow it to flow naturally, I feel like what God is saying is that you will get closer to that Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody who is very stable. It's also like somebody who is able, I mean, he's not a king, but he is like steadily, I feel like the Knight of Pentacles to me is like slow and steady wins the race. Like, he's not going to be the guy that's going to sweep you off your feet and like, you know, just offer you this grand gesture. But he is the guy that over time, after you keep having these heart-to-heart conversations, when he realized like, oh, like you just set your boundaries and you say what you mean what you say. He realized like, oh damn, I can trust her. I like spending time with her. Then he'll offer this up to you. Then he'll be able to, you know, he'll feel more he'll be more easy to like just let his guard down and be like really offer up this, you know, the Ace of Pentacles is like, they talk about how this could be a business adventure, but I feel like it's like he will be giving with his knowledge, like his wisdom, with his heart. Like he would be, and it's because you're not like forcing him to do anything or trying to get him to be another way. Like he's just like, damn, this girl just really just allowing this situation to unfold naturally, and he'll just like, well, you know, this is it. You know, I just feel like we have to realize like guys don't want the drama no more than we want it. And I feel like if we just come into the situation honestly, then we will get what we want more quicker. Like I don't want to keep, you know, dwelling on that, but I just really, really get that energy that God is saying is like, if you don't try so hard in the beginning, if you drop a lot of the baggage, or if you don't bring any of that shit from your past relationships into this relationships, and just take the time to genuinely get to know somebody and not trying to control it or manipulate it or get this person to see you in a certain type of way, then you will get all those things you want, because guess what's right under this is honeymoon. So it's like, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So it's like, you may just be like, you know what, you ain't never told this to nobody, but you may meet a guy and you be like, you know what, I'm just like a puppy. I just want to be loved and nurtured, and like, let me do my shit, you can do your shit, and we'll be good. And he like, really? That's it? Perfect. Let's be together. You know, like, let me offer you my pinnacle. All right. That's what I get. So I'm gonna leave it there. To clarify, I just feel like this message is just God is saying is don't try so hard in the beginning. I feel like this message is just really about the value of honesty. And like, when you come into relationships clear and honest about what you want, then the universe can quickly give that to you. Let's see if we could, where we at? Angel number 1157. Let's get into the vortex real quick. Dear God, clarify this message of Ten of Wands, Ace of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles. What do you want us to know about not trying so hard in the beginning, letting go of control issues, and like being ready to have heart-to-heart conversations? Like, why is this so important to be honest in the beginning? What is this Knight of Pentacles offering us? Allow no room for doubt or confusion. Just give us one card, please. No room for doubt or confusion. All right, so we got two. And the two cards that came out is our opinions about our children can influence our behavior on us getting to know each other. This talks about children, but I feel like, again, this is speaking about children, but I feel like what God is saying is your opinion on men, your opinion about, you know, how relationships has gone in the past can affect how you see your relationship. So say, for example, if you believe that all men ain't shit, and then you go on this date and you see him like texting somebody and he put his phone face down, you're like, see, this nigga ain't shit. And then again, you know, it'll mess up the flow of the relationship. So I really feel like what God is saying is that you really have to come into relationships, like into this dating world, like pure, and like just allowing people to show you who they are, and not having these preconceived notions about, oh, all Virgo girls are liars, or all Leos are cheaters. It's like, no, just drop all that bullshit and just take that person for who they are. Really get to know them. The more you see things in your child that you do not want to see, the more you will see it. So the more you see in men that you don't want to see, the more you'll see it. So the more we see Nick Cannon having babies, the more we feel like all these niggas are reckless. People feel like if you have money, you can do anything. The more you see it, the more it's going to come up. And so the behavior that you elicit from your child is more about you than it is about your child. So the again, taking this back to a relationship, the behavior you will get from a man is more about how you're perceiving it versus what he's actually doing. You hear what I'm saying? This shit is low-key deep. This is actually true of all of your relationships. But since you think about your children more than you do most others, your opinion about your child plays a greater role in their behavior. And so this message is just speaking about how we perceive certain behaviors and how our perception, it really can interfere with what the person is actually doing, which means that we see this person could be doing something with the purest of intentions. But if your lens, the way that you view the world is that everybody ain't shit, nobody can be trustworthy, this person could be doing something from the purest intentions, but because you feel like all niggas ain't shit, you're going to perceive it like this is fucked up. And that's why your relationships end the way they are. You hear what I'm saying? So if you would just approach your relationships differently, get to actually genuinely get to know everybody, drop this baggage, drop the baggage, then you will actually get the relationship that you truly want. The other card that came out is I have control of the vibration I offer. And again, vibration, perception, all of that. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Once you begin to believe or expect good feeling things to come, you're in the vortex. So once you believe, okay, I've done all this work on myself and now I'm worthy of receiving a man that is worthy, you know, I'm worthy of receiving my divine mate, then it'll come. But again, if you look at niggas and you believe all niggas ain't shit, even if a guy will come in your life because your perception is all niggas ain't shit, you're going to automatically put him in that category. And it doesn't matter if he do things from the purest intention, because what you believe is what you're going to see. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, this is why it's so deep. This is why you have to really get control of your perceptions and your beliefs and what you believe to be true about love. And once you get there, now you are in a cooperative component. Now you get to rendezvous with all the good stuff that you have put there, and you can train yourself there. You can do it in a day. You have control over everything that rendezvous with you when you get control of your vibration that you offer, and you get control of your vibration that you offer when you care about how you feel. So when it becomes important to you, I'm only going to be in relationships that make me feel good. It gets very, very easy to filter out all those other bullshit relationships. And it comes down to even your intimate family relationships. When you accept bullshit in one area of your life, you're giving the universe the signal that you'll accept bullshit in other areas in your life. So when you say, I want to feel good in all of my relationships, then you have to set that boundary in all of your relationships. So if people don't come to you making you feel good, then that means you have to close them out. Period, point blank, period. If it's your mama and daddy, the pastor, they can't come if they don't make you feel good. When you do that, the universe is like, oh, that bitch is serious. Then you can get all of this good stuff that is truly meant for you. But until you make that mental switch that I'm worthy of having relationships that feel good. I'm worthy of having a man that loves me. I'm worthy of having a man that's loyal to me. I'm worthy of having a man that actually wants the best for me. Angel number 1720. Until you make that switch, then you're only going to get bullshit. And I actually really love this message because this came over. I have control over my vibration with let go of control issues. So what God is saying is that you're so focused on the other person. And oh, he did this. Oh, he made me feel this way. Oh, he this, he. Not realizing that it's your perception and how you're viewing the world that's getting all of this bullshit. So if only you would just take control of your vibration, of how you feel deep down inside, then everybody will magically change. And it's not that they're magically changing. It's just that you're starting to see people for who they truly are, not through your bullshit lens. Do you hear me? All right. Last thing, I can attract relationships that agree with my desires. With this Knight of Pentacles, this is what God is trying to get you to understand. If you would just work on what you believe to be true about the opposite sex, if you would stop that dumb shit about niggas ain't shit, bitches ain't, if you would just stop all that and realize that we're all flawed, we all have things that we need to work on, and that you're gonna just work on yourself, becoming your best self. When you do that, then you drop the baggage, you get to know somebody honestly, you let go of your control issues, and then you're able to have a different type of relationship. When you're able to have a different type of relationship, then it's easily to attract the person that you really genuinely want, and not the person that's going to amplify your lack. Okay? Angel number 1850. I don't want to keep dwelling this. I don't want to keep beating this over the head because I feel like this is a very, very straightforward message. By my attention to things, I am making choices. So what God is saying is that if you're going to continue to focus on all of your failed relationships, all, how niggas ain't shit, how nothing, how you can't trust people, how hoes are winning, then you can't be mad if that keeps playing out in your life. That's because that's what you believe. But if you just work on yourself, you work on your issues that you have with your opposite sex, then God can bring you the love that's truly meant for you. Okay? And I'm actually going to end this message with a work your light. Let's end this with a work your light. It'd be too easy to end it with a Sufi. I'm going to end it with a Sufi. I said that, then I'm still going to end it with a Sufi. Alright. All right, God. Clarify this message of Ten of Wands, Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. What do you want us to get us to understand about taking control of our vibration, releasing control issues, and changing our perception of the opposite sex? How does that get us closer to the love that is meant to us? How can we attract relationships that agree with our desires? Please, God, wrap up this reading in a beautiful bow. Allow no room for doubt or confusion. Me or the viewer's mind. In my prayer. Beautiful bow, God. Take our bottom card. And the bottom card is Balanced Life. Love seeks your well-being. Angel number 2048. Today, like many others, we wake up empty and startled. Let the beauty we love be what we do. Today, like many others, we wake up empty and startled. Let the beauty we love be what we do. Rumi. Life is too valuable to waste. The way to spend it well is to have a balanced life. This means having mind, body, heart, and spirit all working together in harmony. When there is no conflict and no competition between these elements, the systems work together and you achieve an inner peace. Life becomes imbalanced when we focus too much to any one aspect and neglect the others. Rumi is a loving oracle reminding you to see the beauty around you so that love becomes a presence that affects everything you do. If you feel you are losing your enthusiasm, it means you have fallen out of balance. It might be that you are feeling overwhelmed because you are under pressure of some kind, or dealing with a physical hardship which is causing stress and keeping your systems from working together. Let love guide you towards what is best for you. When you allow the spirit of love to guide you, all the organs of your body will be in harmony with each other. This oracle brings the message that your heart is big enough to receive the joy that is lying in wait for you. Allow your knowledge, awareness, and openness to allow your mind, body, heart, and spirit to work together. Begin by giving your mind confidence by strengthening your belief systems. When your mind has clarity, it can guide you. You will be able to expand your memory and improve your vision, and it will help you achieve your practical goals. Spending quality time with friends, getting out in nature, taking a quiet walk, reducing your weight, or improving your sleep patterns are examples of what can be done to achieve a balanced life. So, as I was reading this is honestly just reminding me that angel number 2253, maybe you've just been spending a lot of time worrying about your love life, worrying about how you're going to bring a mate in, and like you just been putting a lot of energy into that. And so every time you meet someone, you putting all this extra pressure that this has to be the one, this has to be it, and you get disappointed every time it's not happening. And so what God is trying to get you to understand is that instead of worrying about your love life, which this is the second time this message have came out, focus on something else. Focus on other things to bring yourself in balance. Focus on other things. And when we say balance, it's just that makes you feel love, that makes you feel joy inside. I feel like because you don't have this mate, you're just like miserable. And what God is trying to get you to understand is that he can't bless you if you're going to stay focused on the misery. You're going to stay focused on absence. You really have to find a way to balance yourself out and love life again. If that is your hope and wish, put your hand on your heart and repeat after me as I say this. I am opening to love in every aspect of my life. I am opening to love in every aspect of my life. I will keep my body, mind, heart, and soul aligned with the natural flow of energy to find the balance. I am opening to love in every aspect of my life. I will keep my body, mind, heart, and soul aligned with the natural flow of energy to find the balance. I am opening to love in every aspect of my life. I will keep my body, mind, heart, and soul aligned with the natural flow of energy to find the balance of life. All right, y'all. That is all the messages I have for you. Oh, look at this. And keep an open mind. Replace old cycles with the new and exciting ones. So again, God is just doubling down to say, just change your beliefs on what you believe about the opposite sex, what you believe about your love life. If you will do that, then God will offer you all the things that are truly, truly meant for you. All right, y'all. If you made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. If you made it to the end of this message, you are not subscribed. What are you waiting for? Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Take care. Talk to you soon.